Hey guys, it's Splatoon 2 here, and for today. So, it's been quite a while since we've gotten the release of the Nintendo Switch Online service back at around August 2018, or was it September of 2018? I cannot recall it. However, it's definitely been quite a long way since its release back then. As time went on, there's been a few additions and a bunch of different kinds of games that are still being added to the SNES and NES to this very day. It just happens for like every few months or so. But there's been so many rumors going on about a Nintendo 64 collection or Game Boy and Game Boy Advance coming to the Switch Online service, and at that point, we actually did get that eventually last September of 2021 with that latest Nintendo Direct, where they announced this, the Nintendo Switch Online Expansion Pack. When you first hear about this, it really isn't that bad, because not only is it going to be the same, but they're not only going to be adding Nintendo 64 games, but also the games from Sega Genesis, which is a nice surprise. The problem is, though, is that we don't really know how much this would be or whether or not it was worth it. And about a month later, the Switch Online Expansion Pack now has just announced its pricing. You see, the regular Online Expansion Pack costs at around $4 for the 1 month, $8 for 3 months, and $20 for 1 year. If you have family memberships, that it's around $35 every year, which, you know, it's not really that bad when you think about it. However, with the Online Expansion Pack, it definitely had a bunch of issues. And that's the fact that for every 1 year, you have to pay $50 every time when it's about to expire. And for the family membership, it's about $80. When this was first announced, it definitely seemed like it feels like a way of Nintendo trying to get a lot of our money. The thing about it, though, is that when this was announced and the pricing, they were only just the same. It was only just the same service, but then also has two different retro games that feels like it should have been ported at some point. The real question is, though, is that as time went on since the release of the expansion pack, the question is that whether or not this will be is it really worth it now? Well, I kind of want to go on a brief analysis on what. I just gonna go with like a brief, quick analysis on what I truly think about the Switch Online Expansion Pack and whether or not it's worth it, and to see whether if you guys should buy it or not. Because unlike the regular one, this one may be a bit of a hefty price if you can pay like $60 every year or so. So first off, when this was first released, obviously, it included Nintendo 64 games and Sega Genesis. With a higher price, it was definitely bad. Another thing that I have to mention that when it first came out for the Nintendo 64 games, some of it had really odd and bad emulation. A big example of that is Ocarina of Time. I've seen clips and videos of how weirdly bad the emulation was for Ocarina of Time, and I can definitely tell that Nintendo is trying their best to make sure that the whole game collection of this is pretty much a weird experience. But weirdly enough, is that during that same month of October when they were showing this off, there was also the addition of this one, Animal Crossing Happy Home Paradise, which is just DLC for New Horizons. Yes, it was a $25 price. Whether you should buy it, permanently or get the online service if you don't have it, then it would definitely be something. However, it was only one DLC pack at the time. But then at around either February or March of 2022, they then announced that the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass will be coming as well. So far, yes, it is only 2 DLC packs, but it doesn't seem like it's right enough. But then, about like almost a month ago, they then announced that the Splatoon 2 Octo Expansion Pack DLC will also be coming. So now, that's a total of 2 retro game collections, technically 4 since we got the NES and SNES, along with 3 DLC packs. Now, the question is it truly worth it now after time has gone by? It was confirmed that Nintendo was still going to be supporting the online service once the Switch's life cycle will be ending at some point in the future, in which, yes, I'm very excited about that. However, as we go on, I really want to say this, is that there still has to be some really good justification about the pricing. When it first came out, obviously, it was just a couple retro games with the same service and all. But the only way that I personally would like to see this being sort of a worthwhile price is that I still don't have it. I still don't have the expansion pack because I'm still thinking about whether or not I should get it. I do want to see the Game Boy and Game Boy Advance game collection coming into this service. We've already got the Sega Genesis and Nintendo 64, along with more DLC packs. The real question is that whether or not they're going to be adding more DLC packs as well. I would personally like to see that happening. Yeah, and not only would it justify the price, but it will also give out the DLC for those fans who never really got the chance to either, well, play or they just get the base game, but never the DLC. That's my point of it. However, there is a con when getting this. First off, obviously, it's the price, and every time when your online service is is like close to its deadline, then you have to pay $50 for it every year. But another thing is that for the DLC packs specifically, like Animal Crossing Happy Home Designer, for example, when you get Animal Crossing New Horizons, but not the DLC, but actually got the expansion pack, then you'll be playing it. But when it reaches the deadline, then you can still be able to use it, but never go to that DLC, expansion and all. You still got some of its items, but you can't really go to its DLC content. That can also be the same for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe DLC as well. Since, once the deadline ends, you won't be able to play any of the other DLC cups and all. My point is that even though it is a great WoW price, if you want to get the DLC along with playing retro games that you've never really grew up with, because I never played Nintendo 64 at all, so I mean, except for Mario 64, and that was about it. All I can say is this: if you really truly want to get the online expansion pack for retro games, and especially for DLC that you may not have before, then this would definitely be a good choice. And also, this could also, if they wanted to add more DLC packs, I personally hope they would add Xenoblade Chronicles 2, the Golden Torna Country, or whatever it was called. That's all I can really say about it. And this is like my brief, quick analysis on whether or not it is worth it. To me, it is really based off your preference. Would you like to buy the game because you don't have the DLC and never play any of those games and never play any of the classic games before? Then this would be good. But if you want to see any more DLC expansion packs or any sort of new games that are, because we're still getting a bunch of N64 games every month. We just recently got Kirby and Kirby 64 the Crystal Shards just today. So we're obviously going to be getting more N64s later on, N64 games later on, but that's just my brief analysis on what I think about it. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below about this. And so with that, leave a like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell for more videos, follow my Twitter, and I'll see you guys next time. And remember this, once a legend, always a legend. Like a Hellcat.